In regards to the Middle East, it will always be different until it isn't. This war will be different until it isn't. This nation will be different until it isn't. It's fire the next time. Didn't Bush 2 tell us a long time ago that Iraq and Afghanistan would be democracies eventually? Well, that really never happened. They are basically now, like they've always been, oligarchies run by essentially right-wing warlords backed by our nation and others. That's just the way it is. It did not turn out like the country was promised. In that part of the world, and with these type of wars, in my opinion, it is all about making money and oil. And nothing more and nothing less. It seems to always be about wars involving oil. And of course, wars, in my opinion, are nothing more than businesses to largely make money. In my opinion, the globalists want to depopulate the Middle East. I can't prove that, but I believe it when you look at world history. In this video, I'm going to outline my beliefs on why I think the war with Iran, like all the other ones, is a really bad idea. I think Trump's war with Iran is a really bad idea. So here goes my summary on this issue. Iran is no more of a threat to us than China, North Korea, or Russia, in my opinion. In fact, a lot less. All these nations, including Iran, support and engage in terrorism. You can't fight everyone. As Bush 2 learned, it's easier to kill a few terrorists than take down entire right-wing fascist governments. A war with Iran will destabilize the region further. It will suck us into conflicts in Turkey because of NATO. And it could lead to World War III, and I will tell you why. It's actually a very complex scenario that the mass media is talking about very little. Remember, China and Russia are allies of Iran with other people. They already said they will retaliate against Israel. What does that even mean at this point? We really don't know. And in my opinion, it's not being adequately analyzed by anybody at this point. Trump could have a mass Iranian refugee problem on his hands in a few months. Where will they go? Well, I'll let you in on a little something. It won't be Israel, and it won't be Saudi Arabia. It very well may be here and in other countries like Canada. Where will they go? We don't know exactly. But it's not going to turn out good for the United States. Israel is now fighting Hezbollah in Lebanon. Who is Hezbollah? Well, they're a right-wing Islamist terrorist organization. Israel's fighting them. We are aligned with Israel. That's the reality of it. I don't totally agree with that, but that's what's going on. This is a huge political mess like World War I. In my view, the entire Middle East, every country over there, is a right-wing oligarchy dictatorship. Literally every one of them is some sort of right-wing socialist state. That's the reality, folks. Get the wool off of your eyes. It's all about money and oil and depopulation. They're all the same over there. Israel, money, and oil control U.S. foreign policy. It's been like that for about 100 years. War is the biggest profit maker and the quickest depopulator, in my opinion. A ground war with Iran is a really bad idea. In my opinion, it could take at least 6 months, maybe longer. At least a few months on the low end. The casualties, from what I know about war history, would probably be at least 1,000 Americans or at least several hundred on the low end. This is not worth it. If we get into a ground war, you're looking at a slog over there like what happened with Bush 2. It's never different. They're just dropping a letter, folks. Wake up. Remember, Iran is twice the size of Iraq with much more mountainous terrain and hills. It borders Turkey and Afghanistan, which I mentioned earlier in the video. It's a very different ground war, very different terrain, meaning it's a sniper's paradise. It's twice the size of Iraq. Keep that in mind. How long did it take us to secure Iraq? Way too long. Remember, Iraq is a floodplain or a salt flat or something like a very flat desert when you look at most of the country. Iraq is basically a flat desert or a wash. Iran is a completely different topography. This is not even being talked about in the media. This administration, in my opinion, has no game plan to fight a ground war in Iran. They have no game plan whatsoever. They don't know what they're doing. I think the public is largely being manipulated to support another ground war in the Middle East, which in this case is Iran. They have no real game plan to do this. This is a really bad idea. It's 2003 all over again, folks. This is a really bad idea. And I don't want to see it happen for all kinds of reasons. It's 2003 all over again. It's deja vu. It's really not that much different than went on about 20 some years ago. I think it may be Trump's biggest mistake in his entire 8 years. I think it is such a big mistake. It could destroy his presidency. And I think it could largely make him more susceptible to being impeached next year and thrown out of office, with the Epstein scandal and a horrible economy looming. I think it could destroy him, and I think he could get thrown out of office because of it. You could have a constitutional crisis and a nightmare partially because of this war mistake. The war with Iran is a really bad idea by Trump. Once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration. I will see you again next week with similar content. It's free to subscribe.